One home game remains in what has been a historic Memphis 901 FC regular season. This afternoon, the boys from the Bluff look to end it in style against the young and feisty New York Red Bulls 2 side. It's 901 FC soccer, and it starts now. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Memphis 901 FC Soccer, live from a beautiful AutoZone Park on a picture-perfect afternoon. Peter Edmiston alongside former Memphis Tiger J.J. Greer as 901 FC closes out its regular season at home with a match against the team with the worst record in the league. But JJ, there's a lot on the line for Memphis 901 FC. I expect a motivated side.
A really motivated side. You know, you drop points, you know, your last two times out against Rio Grande, of course, and then against Miami FC, at Miami FC, who you might see in the USL Championship playoffs. So 901 FC will certainly be motivated to get all 3 points tonight. There's no question about that. And it starts against a team in New York that has a lot of individual talents in the Red Bulls too, and one of them is Jordan Adebayo-Smith. Adebayo-Smith has been one of very few bright spots for the last place New York Red Bulls 2 side. He's the leading goal scorer for the club with 7 goals and 3 assists. One of those goals actually came against 901 FC back in August in New Jersey. Adebayo-Smith is a skillful striker. He makes intelligent runs off the ball and is a good finisher as well. He could give those 901 FC center backs some trouble if he's able to get service out of the midfield. Yeah, he's been a terrific and one of the very few bright spots for a very tough season for New York Red Bulls 2. On the other side, of course, it's Philip Goodrum. We all know about Philip Goodrum. He's looking for goal number 20 this afternoon. What more can we say? Goodrum has been a force of nature up top all season long for 901 FC. Currently tied for second place in the USL Championship Golden Boot race. 19 goals on 0 penalties. That's a feat in and of itself. He trails only Milan Olowski, who has 22 goals. I think Goodrum, Peter, is going to narrow that gap this afternoon. He's facing a struggling young New York Red Bulls 2 defense that has given up a whopping 73 goals. Pair that with the fact that Goodrum actually hasn't scored in the last 3 matches. I think he's hungry, and I think we could see another multi-goal game from Philip Goodrum. He tends to score goals in bunches. He's done it all year. Playoff positioning and so much more on the line. We got a good one for you this afternoon. 901 FC, New York Red Bulls 2. It's next.
Attention, a 10 is speaking. These 3 new Crystal Side Chicks are thicker, juicier, and crispier than ever. Keep your main thing if you want. We just want to be your side chick.
There are different types of accidents. Were you injured in a rear-end collision? A hit and run? Maybe you were the passenger. What about a motorcycle accident? Were you a pedestrian? 1-800-411-PAIN will match your needs with a qualified attorney. Call 1-800-411-PAIN 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, from home, hospital, or accident scene. Car accident? Remember, after 911, call 411. 1-800-411-PAIN.
Non-employee spokesperson.
I walked into Chick-fil-A completely outnumbered. My husband was away at military leadership training, and the kids were doing this. Miss Carol brought me water, something to eat, and then before I knew it, she was tying Margot's shoes up and carrying her out to the car.
It always makes me feel good if that helps somebody.
I went in the next day because I just wanted to make sure she knew how much I appreciated her help.
I'm just so glad there was somebody there when she really needed it.
That's gonna go on my refrigerator.
Attention, a 10 is speaking. These 3 new Crystal Side Chicks are thicker, juicier, and crispier than ever. Keep your main thing if you want. We just want to be your side chick.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells, officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie is delicious.
A festive final regular season home game for Memphis 901 FC. this afternoon at AutoZone Park. Peter Edmiston, J.J. Greer with you. And we mentioned weather could not be better for today. Absolutely perfect. It's a high in the 70s, not a cloud in the sky, and everything's setting up for a grandstand finish in 901 FC. We'll need it because as results are kind of trickling in and they see how the positioning goes, they're going to need a win, and might need a win of some distance. As a matter of fact, this is lineups from the New York Red Bulls 2, head coach Ibrahim Sakaya. And as we mentioned, they are a young team, a lot of talent in there, JJ. But certainly, their goalkeeper, for example, Rakowski, number 57, he's 15 years old.
15-year-old goalkeeper in between the sticks against one of the top teams in the entire league. We'll see what he's made of, but he's on Red Bulls 2 for a reason. He's the future of the club, and that's what we're going to see a lot of tonight. A lot of players that are trying to fight for next year.
No Leston Paul tonight for Memphis 901 FC as he misses due to an accumulation of yellow cards. But an interesting note in the starting 11, Dylan Borzak, number 77, gets his first start. The 23-year-old Detroit native gets his first start for the squad. What do you expect tonight from this team? As we mentioned, you're playing a team that's only won 3 times all year, only won once on the road, looking for win number 20, and you need probably to win, and it would probably be helpful to win by a decent margin when it comes to goal differential.
I expect 901 FC to start fast, to start
squad. Reese Buckmaster there playing in defense, a little passing back. Trey Muse, the goalkeeper, has been such a steady hand between the sticks. Graham Smith looking to bounce back, an unfortunate own goal. Not much you can do about it in the matchup on Wednesday night against Rio Grande Valley. A game in which 901 FC had a 2-0 lead with 72 minutes on the clock and ended up just that 2-2 draw. And JJ, that is the kind of result that sticks in your craw for a while.
Yeah, definitely drop points. You give away 2 points when you're in such a tight battle. As we got a decent pass there. New York Red Bulls started really fast so far in the first minute or two of this match, but 901 FC, they're going to come out hungry in today's match after that tough 2-2 draw against Rio Grande, and of course that loss on the road at Miami FC, who 901 FC potentially could see in the USL Championship Eastern Conference playoffs. I expect 901 FC to come out really fast and really try to make their mark in this match early on.
Into the box, cross ends up going harmlessly out of play for a throw-in for 901 FC. You saw Ibrahim Sakaya, the head coach of Memphis, Red Bulls 2, rather. Of course, there is Ben Pierman, the manager of Memphis 901 FC. Our manager is brought to you by XMC, and it is a big day. You could get win number 20. You could get goal number 20 for Philip Goodrum if he ends up on the score sheet. There's a lot certainly on the line for Memphis 901 FC. We mentioned, we'll talk about it, I'm sure, as the game goes on, JJ, but if you look at the playoff positioning right now, after Tampa Bay's resounding 8-0 victory over Loudoun United, that's right, 8-0, I did not misspeak. That puts them on 61 points. It's one behind Memphis 901 FC, who's at 62 points. Those teams are vying it out for the number 2 seed. Louisville City has got they got a lead that cannot be an insurmountable lead at the top. They will be the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. And so 901 FC has a vastly inferior goal differential to Tampa Bay. So if it ends up in a tied point situation, Tampa Bay will have the edge there. So not only do you want to win, you want to go ahead and finish with 2 wins to close out the season, but you kind of have to, JJ, with Tampa Bay there. You want to make sure you end up with that 2 seed and have the best possible opponent. Although, frankly, down at the bottom of the 5, 6, 7 is very jumbled up.
It's very jumbled up, and there's really not a huge difference, Peter, between, right now at 6, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and at 7, Miami FC. Both those teams are really solid teams. Of course, 901 FC has really struggled with Miami FC. Miami FC has actually won both of the games early on this season. Of course, it's much harder to beat a team 3 times in a row. So we'll see if 901 FC can take care of business down the stretch with these last 2 games.
First foray forward, and a very good one as Segrist plays it ahead, and Jeremy Kelly just gives himself too much to do, plays the ball in front of his feet, and it trickles out of play for a goal kick for New York Red Bulls 2. Just underway here. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon in the USL Championship. 901 FC Red Bulls 2 getting cheered along by a very active Bluff City Mafia. The drums are out and about, and today I kind of wish we were out there, broadcasting outside. This is as glorious a day as you could possibly dial up. After all those afternoons and evenings of playing in 90-degree, 95-degree, all the humidity, this is something.
Oh, it's like a reward. It's certainly a reward for the players and definitely a reward for the fans as well, who a decent turnout tonight as we see Laurent Cassidu running at the, oh, what a move that is.
Cassidu with some fancy footwork. You know he's got that in his locker for sure. Ball does fall kindly and nearly an opportunity on goal. Goodrum, very crossing corner of the match, ends up back to the midfield line. Nothing doing for 901 FC. Ball played out Christopher Allen. It's going to be a little bit of an adjustment. Leston Paul, who's normally such a mainstay for 901 FC, not in the lineup tonight due to an accumulation of yellow cards, but this might not be the worst match to go ahead and get that suspension over with, I suppose, if you're looking at the bright side of things.
Absolutely, and Chris Allen is more than capable as a backup coming in and being slotted into the starting 11 in midfield. He's done it time and time again this season, and 901 FC has certainly not dropped any kind of level at all. Nasty
little challenge there from Justine Salinas. Left that foot in. Bit surprised that haven't seen card. Maybe just, you know, sometimes the referee is Thomas Snyder this afternoon. Sometimes the referee likes to let things settle in. Now, the last time you and I were broadcasting, the referee didn't have any time to let anything settle in before we saw, you know, 3 red cards on the field, a red card for the coaching staff, and it was one of the most chaotic games imaginable. Cassidu remains down. It was a pretty ugly challenge from Salinas. Didn't think he needed to leave that foot in. It was high, studs were showing.
Yeah, it looks like he caught him right on top of the foot, Peter, where the you know, foot and ankle kind of meet each other there. You know, lower ankle, upper foot, if you will, and just caught the studs right on it. Very painful. See, she's got the magic spray that she's working on him. Hopefully can numb it up and get him back on the field and playing, although he looks like he might be in a lot of pain right now, Peter.
He does. JJ, you were, you know, former high-level player. Did you get the magic spray?
Well, you know, I was the one doing the kicking. I was the center back, you know, kicking
guys
so
you were,
like
but you never got kicked? I mean, you never ended up with an opportunity to use the magic spray?
Back in my day, you know, they didn't have the
well, you're not 70 years old, JJ. Good Lord. He is, it looks like a painful one. Cassidu is making his way off the pitch very gingerly, but I'm hopeful that he's going to be able to kind of run this off and get back out there. He's had a real tough run of it this year with injuries, missed a significant portion of time earlier in the year, and even when he came back, he was not quite himself. It's taken him a while to get back to his best form, and he seems to be, you know, getting there now. It would be a shame to have that taken away. Now, while he recovers right now, 901 FC playing with 10 men, and that is going to be a corner, though, as the ball played kind of a hopeful ball, didn't have a whole lot on, but it was headed out, perhaps unnecessarily, by Salinas, and that's going to lead to a Celtic crossing corner for 901 FC. Cassidu off your screen is getting his treatment, and I think he's going to be good to go to return. Doesn't quite look 100%, but give him a little bit to recover. One of the best set-piece takers in the USL Championship, Aaron Malloy, puts it right where he needs to. Ball tipped out. Chris Allen has a go, and it's deflected. Another corner, third corner in the early stages of this match for 901 FC. The Englishman took a nice swing with the left foot, and it was deflected out. Malloy will head over and try it again.
What I liked about that ball from Aaron Malloy as well, he missed Matthew Nacita, the big 6'8" defender in the box for the New York Red Bulls too. I think 901 FC and Aaron Malloy, they're going to want to hit that ball long, maybe look for the back stick, look for the back post, get that big man Nacita and his big 6'8" frame turning around the goal. Don't let him run onto headers.
Ball punched away from the 15-year-old Rakowski. Good goalkeeping for the youngster.
Great punch out.
15 years old.
That's really something else.
They've got a 14-year-old on the roster as well. Don't know that he's going to play tonight, but they've got a 14-year-old on.
Wow.
I mean,
it's really incredible. I mean, you can already see
getting kind of crazy.
Radkowski, even with that punch out right there. I mean, he's got a long road ahead of him. You know, 81 plus minutes to go here in this match. But even just so far, what you've seen of him, you know, directing the defense, being able to punch the ball out and direct that back line, it's been impressive. The fact that a 15-year-old can be slotted into a USL Championship match.
He was the youngest player to start for New York Red Bulls too. He made his first start last game. He's continued this, and you know, again, it's kind of the difference between development side like Red Bulls 2 and a side like Memphis 901 FC that is gunning for championship playoff runs, that sort of thing. The experience level is completely different, the level of expertise. Goalkeepers tend to also kind of be around for a while, a little older too, and so to be at 15, that's very, very impressive. And he does look like
he looks like
he looks like he's about 11 and my son's 11. And I think I think we could swap him out, and I don't know that you can tell too much difference. Maybe I'm just getting really old too. I don't know. That's the other part of it. Trey Muse out to handle the header without any difficulty at all. Plays it out. Red Bulls 2 have started, JJ, with a little bit of intent to push forward. You can see they're pressing relatively high, trying to keep a high tempo of this match. And I think for them, there's not a whole lot to play for in terms of wins and losses in their season. They're not going to postseason, but a lot of these players individually still academy players trying to impress the senior squad, and that doesn't change no matter what your record is.
Absolutely not. Both teams are playing for something. Of course, 901 FC fighting for their playoff position. Of course, they've already clinched, and as you said, Peter, a lot of these New York Red Bulls 2 players, if you're an academy player, you're trying to continue to get minutes with New York Red Bulls 2, or in the case of maybe Alan Rakowski, the 15-year-old goalkeeper, he's trying to increase his chances for the future of making it to the first team, which theoretically all of these young New York Red Bulls 2 players are. But at the same time, it doesn't matter what their position is in the season. They got to keep fighting. They got to be professionals and show what they can do.
Segrist with a throw. Red Bulls 2 looping ball played over the top. Trey Muse able to grab it. Some good work from Reese Buckmaster to kind of impede the progress of Adebayo Smith, who was on the prowl.
Buckmaster has been so impressive, just slotting into center back. He's such a great right back, great outside back, and I think it's affected 901 FC, going forward, because Buckmaster is so talented of an offensive player and defensive player. We'll see. I'm curious to see, Peter, if maybe Zach Carroll or Niall Logue will be ready for the playoffs to be partnered up with Graham Smith once again.
We mentioned that no less than Paul because of suspension, but the injury report presented by Campbell Clinic tells us that there'll be no Handwall of Wana, who's had some nice cameos in this season so far, coming in from Nashville. Devin Boyce also out, and David Egbo will not be part of the action tonight. Juan Castillo will miss for New York Red Bulls 2. Ball goes out of play, throw into 901 FC, still scoreless early on. 12 minutes played in this match. I would say, JJ, not a lot of rhythm really established in this match. Not a ton of chances for either side, although 901 FC have had 3 corners to their name at least, so there's been some pressure put on, but nothing. It's still a bit of a tough one, and that ball slips through, and now a great opportunity, and a put in the back of the net against the run of play. The flag stays down. Goal for New York Red Bulls 2 out of nothing. Steven Plaza puts it in the back of the net. And it is 1-0 to the Red Bulls 2.
Really out of nothing, as you said, Peter, and against the run of play, you saw Steven Plaza just found himself wide open, just got himself in between the 2 center backs, Graham Smith and Reese Buckmaster, just calmly slotted that ball right over Trey Muse, who looked like he almost, guessed there, and Steven Plaza just lifted that ball up over the leg of Trey Muse. 1-0 New York Red Bulls 2.
We were saying that there wasn't a lot of rhythm in the match, and that was a goal that came out of not much rhythm play, but ball goes over the top, and looked like some miscommunication there in that sort of makeshift back 3 for 901 FC with Segrist and Buckmaster. Is a big gap between them. Smith wasn't able to come over in time to recover. There was some suspicion of offside too, which I think if you look back, I don't know, our angles are tough. It's difficult to see for sure because you don't have that direct on angle, but it looked like there was a decent possibility of offside as well. Doesn't matter. The goal has been given, and it is 1-0 to New York Red Bulls. This was a little twist in the tail that I didn't necessarily expect, JJ.
And we've seen this a couple of times from 901 FC. Sometimes it takes them a little bit. It's a great ball there from Segrist.
Over the top to Borzak, cuts it back to his left, has an opportunity, save made by Rakowski. Borzak, what a fabulous ball. Segrist floated it to him. He was able to cut it back onto his left foot. Have a nice attempt. Good save from Rakowski, but an immediate fight back from 901 FC.
Really nice sequence from 901 FC, as you said. What a ball that was from Segrist over the top of that New York Red Bulls 2 back line. And Borchek with a good first and second touch. Tried to go near post, but Rutkowski, the 15-year-old goalkeeper, held his ground, made the nice save.
Borchek then with some good work. Now great touch from Goodrum. Goodrum seeing things out. Now pays it over to Kisiadou. Ball is deflected and into the hands of Rutkowski. Kisiadou couldn't quite get his feet sorted out. That was a real chance for 901 FC. They've had 2 great opportunities, both gone by the wayside. Goodrum there with a nice ball played, and you see Kisiadou couldn't quite find the left-hand corner of the net.
It looked like Nocita, Peter, Matthew Nocita, the big 6'8" center back for New York Red Bulls 2, who actually saved that ball before it was able to cross the line. That ball was going into the back of the net, but great defensive play there from Nocita. And, of course, Rutkowski was in the right place at the right time once again.
Nocita's comically large right there.
He's a big kid.
This looks like a father talking to his children out there. Nocita is every bit of 6'8", it would appear. 2 great chances for 901 FC, having given up the goal. I know Ben Pierman will not be thrilled with what he has seen so far, but the response is certainly positive. You mentioned in the open, JJ, that this is a Red Bulls defense that has given up 73 goals on the season. That is an average of almost 2.5 per match. So plenty of time left, plenty of opportunity left, but Memphis 901 FC certainly with the response that you would expect, having gone a goal down.
As I was saying before, Peter, sometimes we've seen this with 901 FC, that it's taken them, 15, 20 minutes, or sometimes up until the other team scores a goal or 2 for them to get into the game. Sunday afternoon game, 901 FC maybe started off maybe a bit lethargic, trying to get used to each other in terms of Dylan Borchek starting up top in lieu of Luis Fernando. We'll see if Jeremy Kelly and Luis Fernando, Kisiadou can get him the ball. Look at that.
What a ball, what a header, and what a save from Rutkowski. Point blank range, headed it pretty close to his body, but that was no mean feat. Borchek with a terrific chance again. 3rd really good opportunity in the last 2 minutes. What a nice cross this is, curling away, terrific contact, but right at Rutkowski, who has strong hands and hangs on to it.
Really good save there from Rutkowski. Yes, it was right out on, but he had to do a lot just to be able to hold on to that ball.
That ball, almost trouble, nearly found Jordan Adebayo-Smith, who was in some space, but Trey Muse comes out to claim. New York Red Bulls, too, carrying a lot of threat up front. Those balls they play, those long balls are causing some problems. It seems as though a little bit of a miss kick from Trey Muse there.
There's an offside call there.
It is going to be an offside, a good break for 901 FC, because that was a miss kick for sure.
And that's the thing about New York Red Bulls too as well, Peter. You kind of mentioned they've got some really good individual talent, especially up top. You saw it there with Steven Plaza on that goal, but also Jordan Smith.
Overruns Buckmaster. Plaza's a big player too, so that's something that's not the biggest group of defensive threes, not huge for 901 FC. And Steven Plaza, 6'2", 170, big physical guy, causing some problems for sure. Kisiadou back out there and trying to go 1v2 on the sideline, does earn a throw. Pass from Segrist gets intercepted. Good work from Chris Allen, very tenacious central midfielder. Gets back to Buckmaster as 901 FC tries to establish a little flow of possession. They have been pushed and prodded by Red Bulls 2 all afternoon. That's going to be a handball. Not a lot the defender can do about it. Quick restart, catches him napping, push down, no penalty.
A lot of contact
Goodrum.
there, Peter.
That was awfully close. Hard to tell with Nocera, he's so big. Sometimes guys do sort of bounce off of him. Looked like there was a little bit of a shove there.
A little bit, but not a lot of complaints there from Goodrum.
Not given.
Normally watch the player's reaction, and that can tell you a lot. Goodrum didn't put up too much of a fuss on that particular play.
I would say There's a great opportunity now. Goodrum trying to get in, and Rutkowski takes him out. That's got to be a penalty, and it is. Rutkowski took him out cynically after Goodrum made him miss. No question about that one. Goodrum flicks it to his left, was going to go get that, and Rutkowski topples him over to give up the penalty.
Huge tackle there.
As easy a call as you're going to get.
Certainly got his money worth,
for Thomas Snyder, on that one. For sure. Thomas Snyder, the official, taking that, and now going to the spot. Goodrum does not take penalties, which makes his 19 goals particularly notable because they're all coming from open play. It's going to be the set-piece master himself.
We'll see what Aaron Malloy can do here. Of course, it's hard to be critical of a 15-year-old, Peter, especially he's had such a good opening.
He's made a number of great
19 minutes, yes, of this match. We'll see, what he's made up on this particular penalty, but that's the thing with 901 FC. You're facing a young goalkeeper. You got to put him in awkward situations, just as they did there. And, of course, Philip Goodrum was able to earn his side a penalty.
20 minutes on the clock, a chance for Memphis 901 FC to even things up. It'll be Aaron Malloy from the spot against 15-year-old Alan Rutkowski. And Malloy makes no mistake, right down the middle. 1-1. We're even up.
It's a really good penalty there from Aaron Malloy. Stayed calm the whole time. Sent Rutkowski the wrong way. Went right down the middle, as you mentioned, Peter. Just gave him a little bit of the hips, a little bit of the eyes. 1-1, we got a ball game.
That's what 901 FC needed. Get things going. Malloy, very calm, steps up. And he did just kind of ease over, and Rutkowski, as you often see from goalkeepers, kind of gives it away and dives early and makes it so simple. If you can hesitate just that little bit, the keeper dives, and all you got to do is go right down the middle. And that's what we saw from Aaron Malloy, and you see all that smoke in the way as the flares and smoke bombs and everything else set off to celebrate the first goal of the match for 901 FC. What I'm sure the Bluff City Mafia hopes is the first of many. Buckmaster plays it to Segrist. Segrist looping one down that near sideline. Going to be an offside.
Peter, as I said before, sometimes it takes a goal scored against 901 FC for them to wake up sometimes. And you saw what a great reaction that was for 901 FC. You saw them with a little bit of extra pep in their step. Philip Goodrum looking like the Philip Goodrum that we're used to seeing all season long with those hard charging runs. I think the big 6'8" Matthew Nocita defender for New York Red Bulls too. He's got his hands full tonight with Philip Goodrum.
No shortage of chances created. Goodrum that time will certainly get the assist for having created that opportunity for Malloy to finish very coolly, and Chris Allen with a bit of a clumsy challenge there. Not so much, nothing malicious, but just a bit clumsy with the feet on Felipe. That'll be a free kick to New York Red Bulls too. 1-1 is the score. But with 901 FC being able to create those opportunities, you have to think that bodes well for the long term, as things have started to tip in the direction of the team in second place right now in the Eastern Conference. As you probably would expect. Again, New York Red Bulls too, just 3 wins on the season, just 1 win away from home on the season. This is not a team that is accustomed to ending up with all 3 points in any matchup, much less one that means this much for the home team. So as things go on, you would expect 901 FC to assert themselves here. Nice ball into some space, plenty of space for Jeremy Kelly. Kelly plays it over again. Borchek lays it off. Another opportunity for a penalty and not given. Goodrum had his feet sorted. That one looked like a half-decent shout for a penalty as he was pushed.
There was certainly some contact there, and Philip Goodrum put his body in between the man and the ball and felt the contact.
To work in another Celtic crossing corner. Borchek working well on that right side. Plenty of opportunity for players to run into space. They're playing a high line defensively. That should work to the advantage of Philip Goodrum. That should work to the advantage of Kelly and Borchek. You've seen these guys make runs, Kisyadu. I think there'll be plenty of opportunities in this match as long as that defense can remain tight for 901 FC.
Absolutely, and I like how active Dylan Borchek has been in the first 25 minutes of this match. He really hasn't dropped any slack from Luis Fernando.
Malloy, an out-swinging corner into a good position. Borchek couldn't quite get there. Siegrist plays it cutting back, looking for Allen. Allen trying to hang in there and does at least earn a throw. Taken quickly, Siegrist. Good ball, headed up and out of play. Kisyadu well wide. It was always going to be tough from 18 yards out to head the ball home. That would have been a miraculous header.
If anybody can do it, I think Graham Smith can do it, Peter.
I mean, that was ambitious. Give him that. Red Bulls 2 want to play it short. That may not be a great idea. That ball taken away, and now opportunity for 901 FC to immediately strike back. Played by Kelly laid off from Allen over to Malloy. Malloy plays it wide to Siegrist. Siegrist, another left-footed curling ball in. Had a lot of success from that. This one goes too far, but it's able to be taken back under control. Nice 1-2. Looking for Borchek, who wants a handball. None given. And cleared away from Red Bulls 2. But now this is all 901 FC as they continue to force Red Bulls 2 to defend a little bit deeper, and big Matthew Nocera, way up top, way out of the norm. That's a nice run from Adebayo. Smith floats it over to a dangerous territory, but no one had made that run to the far post. Red Bulls 2, though, maintaining possession. Another cross in, and Trey Muse will handle that without too much difficulty. Open style of play, I think JJ will suit 901 FC just fine as a team that's looking for goals and looking for 3 points.
Oh, absolutely. And 901 FC needs to have that free will spirit, if you will, going forward. As it looks like Philip Goodrum is in once again.
Again, Goodrum, great opportunity, cuts it back, and he's whistled for offside.
But Peter, I certainly agree. An open style, I think, certainly benefits 901 FC, especially if they play that bend pyramid style of soccer of just really foot on the gas at all times and not parking the bus, not holding back at all, especially, with the experience that 901 FC has as well.
Sarah playing let's be kind, called a hopeful ball over the top. More hopeless than the space. Kelly looking to run onto it and at least forces Nocera to take no chances and play it out for a throw. In the 28th minute, 1-1 is the score, but 901 FC starting to take control of the match. Goodrum there sliding in. Ooh, that's going to be a yellow card for the leading goal scorer for Memphis 901 FC.
Goodrum, of course,
I don't think he can have too many complaints about that one, to be honest with you.
He can.
He left the feet in pretty late on that challenge.
Sure, it was his first one, but it was a pretty rough one. Came in pretty late, as you saw there. Ball was gone, and clipped him a little bit there. And
that's what they call forwards challenge.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Guys that are not accustomed to making that kind of a challenge, the timing is a little off, and maybe not so much. Nonetheless, yellow card for Philip Goodrum,
not his first, probably won't be his last.
Well, he is
hopefully not in this match.
He is the player who is fouled the most and who commits the most fouls for 901 FC. So
that's the kind of energy that Goodrum is going to bring. He's going to go hard, night in, night out. A lot of his goals just sometimes come from sheer work rate, although, of course, he's a supremely talented player, can score beautiful goals as well. But that's what you got to love about your striker, that can do a little bit of everything.
Good ball out from Plaza, the outside of the right foot. Ball cut in, blocked, throw to Red Bulls 2. Last 15 minutes have been pretty much all 901 FC. Haven't really seen much opportunity, but that first goal that was scored by Red Bulls 2 was pretty much out of nothing. So they've shown that if you drop your guard, if you don't maintain full concentration, they can't punish you. Throw goes long, headed away by Smith. Playing a little head tennis here. Ball looped way up.
Some young New York Red Bulls 2 team some respect, as you can see at times dropping all 11 players in their own half.
you see that back heel from our buddy Ron Guidry on the camera?
Not bad.
Not too shabby.
Sign him up.
The nice boots on too. Header from Nacera. That's where that towering size really comes in handy. But again, ball given away pretty cheaply from Red Bulls too. Now slowing things down just a bit. It's been a frenetic pace to this match. 901 FC under Ben Pierman tend to like to control things a little bit, slow the tempo down just a bit. They've maintained more possession than in years past, and haven't had a chance to do that in this match because it's been a little bit wild. You're also missing one of your fulcrums in Leston Paul, a guy that does tend to help you maintain possession and just kind of calm things down. So it is a little bit more frenetic in there.
Leston Paul certainly in absence. Missing him in midfield. Chris Allen is no slouch himself by any means, but Leston Paul such a good ball winner, as well as keeping the ball. You know, two tasks that he's charged with doing, and he does an excellent job at that defensive midfield position.
You see Luis Fernando, among others, on the bench there. Ball played too far. Goal kick. Trey Muse. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches. Opportunity here, and it's taken by Trey Muse, but nearly a mistake, costly for 901 FC. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, and English Premier League and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Out of play. Throw to not yet.
Smith, it looked like that ball got away from him a little bit, and Curtis Ofori just really tenacious. Almost got his side of goal.
Right back down the other side of the pitch, though. Good ball played over, floated, and just couldn't quite maintain control, but still, the ball is in possession. 901 FC. Kissiedu plays it across. Good little drop off from Kelly. Segrist to maintain control. Ball goes up. Borchek is hit pretty hard now. Nice job. Good work now. Goodrum is taken down. That is going to be a free kick in a very dangerous area. Terrific work from Chris Allen to pressure and maintain control and interest in that play when it looked like it was going to go to Red Bulls 2. Allen's pressure forced a turnover and giveaway, and that elicited the foul.
Really dangerous opportunity as well. This is Aaron Malloy territory. Let's face it, anywhere in the opposing team's half, the opposing team's final third is Aaron Malloy's territory, but this is a dream spot right here, about 20 yards outside of goal, right outside of the 18-yard box, right outside of the D there. This is a dream position for Aaron Malloy. I'm curious to see whether he goes around the wall or if he's going to try to go up and over.
I don't know if he has quite enough room to go up and down.
Especially against the big 6'8".
Yeah,
Matthew Nacita there. That's a larger wall than usual.
The keeper's playing him certainly to go sort of around the wall rather than over. It's going to take a heck of a shot, but let's see what Malloy has in store. Malloy, clips the crossbar. Didn't quite have enough room to go up and down, but he sure made it close.
Aaron Malloy just kind of dinked that one over the crossbar. Didn't quite get enough dip on it. But if that was under the post, it was certainly going to go in, as Rutkowski, the goalkeeper, the 15-year-old goalkeeper, was really nowhere near that. Gave it a courtesy dive just to make sure, but it looked like it clipped right off the top of the crossbar.
He was miles away from it, but again, that's just it's tough to get it up and down that quickly from that space. You need that to be about 2 or 3 yards further back. He made it look, he was awfully close. Malloy is such a good set-piece deliverer. Double-digit assists off set pieces as well. You see right here, takes a little measured clip of it and just couldn't quite wrap his foot around it to get it go back down. But
on second look, that was no dink either. He did whip that thing.
No, he whipped it in. He just couldn't quite get enough space to do it. Malloy has been such a revelation since arriving from Forward Madison of USL League One. Made himself an integral part of what is going to be the most successful and historic FC team.
Paul, of course, not being active tonight, but he certainly has more earned that captain's armband, and he's just been, as you said, a revelation for this club. And they're going to host a playoff home game in large part because of him, and also Philip Goodrum, Jeremy Kelly, guys like that have just been huge for 901 FC.
Chris Allen, who's been asked to play in just about every position on the pitch at some point this year. A lot of versatility from this Ben Pierman side. A lot of guys have played up front. Guys like Dodson, who's playing as a forward. He's played in, as a left back at times in the emergency situation. Turchi's been up and down the pitch, all over the place. Yeah, and just a lot. It's not the biggest squad, and they've had injuries certainly. So a lot of guys have had to do a lot of extra work in positions that they might not necessarily think is their primary position, but it's worked.
Absolutely.
It's worked really well, and a lot of credit to the man management from Ben Pierman and the versatility of these players.
Yeah.
I think 901 FC really signed very effectively in terms of the players that they brought in.
Just good soccer players. No matter where you put them on the pitch, they're going to be effective because they're technical first and foremost. Have a baseline level of athletic ability, but just understand the game as well.
Cute little interplay from Red Bulls 2 that is cleared out, and now Kisinu with an opportunity. Slows things down a bit, plays it out wide. Looking for Kelly. Kelly, a couple cutbacks. Unable to maintain control. It goes back to 901 FC. Segrist with some fancy footwork there, and then the very unfancy footwork right after that, and that could be yellow, and I was a little worried it might be more than that. Don't think it was quite as bad as it looked, but in real time that looked like a nasty one.
Yeah, it didn't look great. Did not look great. A bit of a long touch there from Patrick Segrist, and just went flying at Nathan Worth, who is a youngster himself, and Worth, of course, made the most he could out of it, as he should. The youngsters learning, been in the league all season, so Patrick Segrist certainly earned that yellow card. We'll see what 901 FC can do here in defense.
We had that nice little sequence where he tippy-tapped around the opposition player and then went lunging in a little too far. Couldn't quite maintain control of the ball. Opportunity for New York Red Bulls 2.
New York Red Bulls 2 has a lot of height in there, Peter. For
certainly,
such a young
you would expect them to kind of float this to the back stick, see if they can't head it back across goal. That's the kind of the norm for this sort of a set piece, and especially with big guy lurking back there. There it goes. Well dealt with, though. And, on the volley, vicious strike. And that went right into the face. Looked like, is that Graham Smith that caught that right in the face? And yeah, it was.
Yeah, 2 headers back-to-back. Strong header to be able to clear the cross first and foremost, and then looked like he threw his head out the shot as well. That half volley, a beautiful half volley as well from, I believe that was Omar Valencia coming from his left back position, right off the face of Graham Smith, and stayed down for a second there. The players called the trainer onto the field immediately. It looks like he's sitting up. You see the power here from Omar Valencia. Boom, you see Graham Smith.
No, he went for that header. I mean,
he went for it, putting his body and his head on the line. You got to hope he's okay.
He got tatered, but it looks like he's up. Head injuries are always tough to tell because sometimes the effects take a little while to set in. He sat up quickly and he looks pretty lively.
Yeah, might have been stunned a little bit. It looked like he did take that one since he was going after the ball. It looked like he did take it off of his forehead, which is, in soccer we say that's the strongest part of your head. That's where you want to head the ball, whereas opposed to if you take it off the temple, the side of the head, it can kind of jerk you around a little bit. But it looks like, he's alert, he's okay. I'm sure he'll go through his protocols. But, potentially goal saving or at least a shot saving block there from Graham Smith.
And you see with the training staff, he is going through those protocols to make sure he is safe and able to play. Opportunity for 901 FC. Going to have to deal with a resurgent Red Bulls 2, though, if they want to take that opportunity. And Red Bulls 2 starting to push back a little bit as the first half draws to a close.
Peter, I've been impressed with the physicality of Red Bulls too. For such a young squad, sometimes that can be a real challenge for these young squads, and just being able to match the physicality of older, most of the time stronger, more physically mature players. But they've done a good job of being able to match the intensity, and really they've got some decent-sized players. These are some big kids themselves. So, job well done for the first 41 minutes of this match for New York Red Bulls too.
Well, and they've also maintained a pretty high tempo for this match, a high level of play, and they've made it very difficult for 901 FC, who have had their chances but have not been able to find the breakthrough. Now we've got a youngster who's stolen the ball. You got to bring that ball back. Yeah, that's not. this is not going to work like that.
It's mine. It's
in baseball.
Halloween.
It's in baseball, buddy. You don't get to keep the ball when it goes in the ground. There we go. We got it back. All right. There we go. Starting to get a little worried about that kid. The kid might have made a run for the exit.
That would have been gone.
Get that match ball.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of which, that match ball is a Select ball, celebrating its 75th anniversary. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice. That kid was like, I'm not going to selectsportamerica.com. I'm just going to take
this game
take it
played,
home. I got one of these for myself right here. No, he brought it back. It's a fine young man. I appreciate that.
Just wanted to borrow it for a little bit.
That's right. Trey Muse plays up. Now here's the opportunity. Getting past him is Jeremy Kelly, but he's offside is the call. Got past big Matthew Nacera.
Yeah, it was a decent ball as well. I believe that came from Trey Muse, the long ball, and that's not a good angle there just because the ball is already in play.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. You're not going to be able to see it when he plays that pass. It's such a long pass. Nacera fortunate, I think, to get away with that one and plays it up to no one in particular. Goal kick.
I will say, I think 901 FC have certainly found something there, and playing either Philip Goodrum or Jeremy Kelly over the top, or at least through, to make the big Matthew Nacera try to turn and run. You know, it's always a challenge. You know, the bigger player you are, it's a lot tougher to be able to turn quickly, especially when you're facing the likes of a Jeremy Kelly or Philip Goodrum, Baran Kassidu, all extremely quick players, extremely smart players as well, that, you know, can get you leaning, and before you know it, they're in behind. So I think 901 FC have certainly found an advantage there. I expect them to keep going at it.
Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL Championship action on ESPN+, the home of the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Opportunity there on the edge of the area. Tackle deemed to be clean by official Thomas Snyder. We play on. Long ball headed away, and it's going to be offside. I think, you know, 901 FC's probably would be considered, in terms of points, if they were a boxing match, they'd be ahead of things on this first half, but have not been able to turn possessional dominance into goals, other than the penalty converted by Aaron Malloy. That's why it stands 1-1. New York Red Bulls 2 very much still in this match as we approach the end of half number one.
901 FC certainly needs to get back into attacking Alan Rutkowski, not only in just taking shots, but putting the ball in awkward situations, making him come off his line, because we already saw he gave up a penalty a little early on in this match, as Philip Goodrum was barreling down in on him. So 901 FC, I really expect you know, Jeremy Kelly, Laurent Kassidu to be able to slide in Philip Goodrum, make him put some pressure on this back line, and the young goalkeeper.
Goodrum getting a very stern talking to from a referee, Thomas Snyder, who was saying that he's talking too much to Salinas and the other opponents. And I do remind you that Goodrum is already on a yellow card, so he probably should take that advice and button it up, no matter how aggrieved he feels.
Well, he's always going to toe the line. That's the kind of player he is. He's always on edge. He's going to be talking to the New York Red Bulls 2 players. He's going to be talking to the referees. He's going to be talking to everybody. Any kind of way he can get advantage, he's going to try to do that. Yes, he's on a yellow card, but you know, I think I think he knows exactly what he's doing, Peter.
I hope so. I hope so.
We'll see.
We will find out. Throw in very late in half number one. A lot of throw-ins this half, sort of a little bit stop-start in the final portion of it. And that was a veteran move from a younger player, as Omar Valencia threw his body in the way, gave Dylan Borchak nothing he could do. There was absolutely no chance.
Really baited him into it.
Do anything.
Omar Valencia really was facing the other way, almost at the corner of midfield, going away from goal, and not the smartest of challenges there from Borchek, but we'll see what New York Red Bulls decides to do. It looks like they're putting players into the, they're playing quickly.
Yeah, playing it quickly. We have 4 minutes, by the way, Miller Lite stoppage time in this first half. About as much stoppage time as we expect. Now, really dangerous ball and well played. 2-on-1. If they had gotten that ball just a little further in front of Goodrum, but it was cut out effectively from New York Red Bulls too.
That was almost almost a fantastic ball, left-footed from Laurent Cassidy, first time off the bounce.
Ball played up, looking for Borchek. Borchek is doing his best, maintain that physical level and get that ball back. Can't quite do it. Be very interesting to see what kind of adjustments Ben Pierman wants to make, if any. It's been I think, reasonably effective tactical situation. They haven't quite been able to get that final ball and count. I would think those balls coming in, they're another little worried about Rosita's size, but more kind of crosses, near post crosses, that kind of thing, those sort of diagonal runs.
I think really just getting more players forward, Peter. Maybe we might even see 901 FC go to 3 in the back, maybe see a tactical change, a formation change instead of, personnel change. Really find ways to put more pressure on this New York Red Bulls 2 back line.
Kelly plays it through onside. Borchek, left foot into the back of the net, and now a late flag goes up. A very late flag goes up. Borchek had scored in his first start, but that flag went up very late on the far side of the field. I had to glance up, and it was not up when he first took it. And he's onside. I think he's onside there.
That's really close.
You can't see the flag finally goes up there at the very end, but very late.
Yeah, really small margin there. Of course, the referee was right on top of it. Had a little bit better angle than us with that camera angle.
Yeah, I think you could certainly say there's a possibility that Red Bulls 2's goal was offside. That ball could well have been onside. Love to go back and get some different angles to see that for sure, but that was awfully close. In any event, it remains 1-1. Red Bulls 2 sliding it forward. That ball is onside, and a great save. Trey Muse, another opportunity. Now Red Bulls 2 staying with it. Great feet from Felipe, cuts it back in and cleared away by Chris Allen.
What an important save that was from
Trey Muse. Again, another example where he just feels like out of nothing, you drop your concentration for a second, and Trey Muse didn't, and that was certainly good for 901 FC. They could have been sucker punched again.
And Peter, that's what great teams have. They have goalkeepers that can really get them out of bad situations. And Trey Muse certainly did that for 901 FC there. That could have very easily made this game 2-1 heading into halftime, which would have been quite the struggle for 901 FC, but we'll see what they can do here at the end of the half.
First time ball from Kelly trying to find Borchek, and just a little too overrun, and that will probably be that for half number 1. Wow. Red Bulls 2 continue to carry enough threat that you have to be very careful. Twice now they've caught 901 FC sleeping. Once it ended up in a goal. Second time Trey Muse was able to intervene and make that save as halftime has arrived. Ben Pierman with a lot to think about as he goes into the dressing room with a team that is now tied 1-1, all to play for. No question about that. Playoff spot and a 20th win still very much within the grasp of 901 FC, but they're going to have to up their level against a resilient and surprisingly tough New York Red Bulls 2 squad. It is halftime here at AutoZone Park. Memphis 901 FC with a 1-1 draw so far at the half with New York Red Bulls 2.
Police have found what can only be described as a brutal and disturbing scene. Do you remember the College Town slang?
I think everybody in the country remembers the College Town slang.
I was right in the middle of it.
Police are not getting any further information regarding the suspects' names. It seems the killer is still on the loose. Stay safe, everyone.
Need cash? TitleMax offers 2 ways to get it. Get cash using your car title. Go to TitleMax.com, enter the car year, make, model. See how much you can get. TitleMax also offers personal loans. No title required. Check out TitleMax.com when you need more cash. Check out TitleMax.com for rates. Check out TitleMax.com. All credit types accepted. Find out why so many people say,
I got my title back with TitleMax.
I got my title back with TitleMax.
Get your title back with TitleMax.
Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex. Termites.
Don't mess up your deck with Tex-Mex. Terminex, here to help.
It is halftime. 901 FC, Red Bulls 2, knotted up 1 goal apiece after very interesting first half, maybe a little bit different than what we might have expected, what a lot of folks might have expected, but a lot to play for here in this match. As we mentioned, Memphis 901 FC looking for win number 20 in what has been a historic season for sure. Also, Philip Goodrum still not on the score sheet yet, although he did win the penalty, looking for goal number 20. We'll have a look at the stats, highlights, and more as we continue with halftime here, tied at 1 at AutoZone Park.
Stop it. Yo, roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
Welcome to Tampa Bay. Here he comes. Cross, score! Fernandez, and the Rowdies are on the board.
And it's into the back of the net. El Paso waited for their moment.
For a corner and it's in. What a goal! Are you watching Football Americas?
Welcome back at halftime. Memphis 901 FC 1, New York Red Bulls 2. 1 playoff promo gets you excited because playoff time is almost here. USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense. And if you look at what's happening around the Eastern Conference, you've got Louisville, Memphis, Tampa Bay, Birmingham, Pittsburgh, Detroit, Miami, all in. The 7 are set, but where will they be? Well, that is a different discussion. Louisville has clinched that number 1 seed, but the sequence where 2, 3, and with 901 FC currently sitting in second spot, and then 4 through 7 are all separated by just 3 points, so very much all to play for right there. The final, of course, will be on November 13th. Playoffs begin in a couple of weeks' time. It is right up on us, and you see around the scoreboard around the league from this weekend will tell you just how dominant Tampa Bay was. I mentioned that earlier. Last night, 8-0. Yikes. Over Loudoun United FC. Rio Grande Valley, fresh off their draw with 901 FC. Gets a big win for them against Phoenix Rising FC as they're in the mix in the Western Conference playoff position. Las Vegas with a 3-0 victory over the Miami FC, and Indy 11 4-1 over Charleston, which leads us to the standings. And as we mentioned, of course, Louisville at the top of the standings with 69 points. They are uncatchable. 901 FC, though, at 62 points, just 1 ahead of Tampa Bay. And you see the point differential, or the goal differential, rather. Tampa Bay at plus 37 is better than anybody else in the league, including Louisville. So 901 FC, in the event of a tie, it's not necessarily what you want to see. Now, Birmingham, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Miami, JJ, all separated by just 3 points. So could be anybody, but you'll see Memphis will host, whether it's in the 2 seed or the 3 seed, they will host either 6 or 7 on that first playoff weekend in about a couple of weeks' time. All these teams are going to be in the playoffs. There's no, there's no issue in terms of anybody else jumping in. And if you take a look at the bracket, this bracket is subject to change. This is what it would look like right now. 901 FC against Miami, with Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh, and then that all-important next matchup, because as you reseed, it'll reseed after the first round. But if you end up as the 2 seed, you win, you're guaranteed to host from that point on. So that's a very important. That 2-3 is a major distinction, because if you play Tampa Bay, you'd certainly like to play them at AutoZone Park rather than down there.
Oh, absolutely. Going to Al Lang Stadium down in Tampa, or St. Pete, I should say, is a really, really tough place, really tough environment to play in. 901 FC, of course, went down there earlier this year and took a loss on that one. Of course, even being at home to Miami FC, that's not going to be an easy one in and of itself. But, if 901 FC can continue to kick on and continue to get points down the stretch, hosting playoff games at home, that would be absolutely huge for this club.
Well, and it's terrific for this team to be able to host a playoff game. It does show the growth in this side and the growth in this team and what they've done. And in order to lock things up, they're going to have to pick things up a little bit against New York Red Bulls too. You take a look at the stats in the first half. Dominating possession, 901 FC. More shots on target, more expected goals. The XG kind of reflective of a team that has been dominant in some decent chances from 901 FC that were either blocked or saved. But overall, New York Red Bull 2, the thing that isn't necessarily reflected in these stats, JJ, is that they have enough of a unpredictability in their threat that they've created 2 clear-cut chances, one of which they scored.
They can hang around just enough, and they've got enough players to be very dangerous. And Steven Plaza and Jonathan Felipe and Jordan Adebayo-Smith, who we talked about earlier, these players are really dangerous if given the opportunity. And of course, Alan Rutkowski, the 15-year-old goalkeeper for New York Red Bulls 2, made some really good saves early on in this match. Of course, also gave up a penalty, but so far so good for the 15-year-old in the back 4, in between the sticks for New York Red Bulls 2. I expect, a passionate, maybe fiery team talk from Ben Pierman at halftime to really get his side, to really pick it up as the last game at home for the club.
We will have a look at those highlights of half number 1, and we'll talk to Ben Pierman, the head coach of 901.
If you're a Medicare beneficiary and live in the area, call now to see how this little card could get you some big benefits, including money added back to your Social Security check. With one toll-free call, you can find out how easy it is to get all of your original Medicare coverage plus extra benefits. You get an all-in-one plan designed to fit your needs so you can be your best every day. You could have medical coverage, prescription drugs with $0 generics, dental, vision and hearing, plus the WellCare Visa Flex Card, money for over-the-counter items, and money back in your Social Security check each month, and so much more. And here's more good news. You can get a WellCare plan for a $0 monthly premium. How can WellCare offer all of those benefits for a $0 monthly premium? It's simple. Medicare Advantage and Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage are important parts of Medicare. WellCare has a contract with Medicare to offer and provide these important options to you. Call right now to get your free copy of the WellCare All-in-One Guide. Call 1-877-424-5416 now. There is absolutely no obligation for requesting this free information. WellCare offers benefits that go beyond the basics, including money added to your Social Security check to help cover your Part B premium. Call today to get your free copy of the All-in-One Guide with absolutely no obligation. Your free plan guide will give you the details you need to make a smart choice for your Medicare coverage. Just call 1-877-424-5416. Remember, there's no obligation for requesting this free information. So call 1-877-424-5416. WellCare. Call today.
Halftime here, 1-1. Memphis 901 FC, New York Red Bulls 2. Joining us, the head coach of 901 FC, Ben Pierman from pitch side. And Ben, what did you think of the response after giving up the early goal?
Yeah, I mean, the response was fine, but that's how it has to be from the get-go. That was not good enough. It was not good enough for the supporters, not good enough for what we want to be doing, trying to push to get this number 2 seed. Look, we've had a fantastic season. The reasons why are the opposite what we did a lot of that first half, but we'll improve.
How do you find the fluidity in the second half?
Yeah, I think, you know, with the team that presses like this, the fearlessness, the courage that they try to make us suffer high up the field, sometimes you just have to be a little bit almost reckless, just turn them around a little bit and then play the game higher up the field. But we talked about it for 2 days. I think we were too proud to do it. And then now you're playing catch up. I believe in the group. We got a good team, but not the way we played in that first half.
Big second half coming up. Good luck, Ben.
Thanks, guys.
Ben Pierman, Memphis 901 FC head coach, joining us, talking about his team's need to be fearless and to get after it and to not be too proud to get in there and scrap it up. A lot of the stuff that we talked about, because this was a sucker punch right out of the gate, out of nowhere. Steven Plaza gets that ball, and next thing you know, you look up and you're down 1-0.
Yeah, just right up the gut, really, and is a calm, cool, collective finish from Steven Plaza. But you know, that play right there, that's exactly what Ben Pierman was talking about 901 FC should do. Sometimes you just got to go right down the gut. You know, don't be too proud to just send the ball up the field, turn them around. As we saw a couple of good chances here for 901 FC, and Rakowski making some great saves, but culminated in this fearless run from Philip Goodrum, who got the most out of that challenge, and calm finish there on the penalty kick from Aaron Malloy, the skipper for this afternoon.
Yeah, that was the immediate response. You saw 3 really good opportunities, and finally the penalty taken with great coolness from Aaron Malloy, making it 1-1, and that's where it stands right now. And you could tell based on what Ben Pierman said, JJ, that he was not happy. That was a very ticked off Ben Pierman. Didn't like the way his team came out, didn't like the approach that they had, felt like they were taking this game for granted. It's understandable. I mean, heck, if you look at the record, New York Red Bulls 2, only twice away from home all year have they done anything other than lose.
And really, you can't say too many bad things about this 901 FC side, who's just been so strong offensively in midfield and defensively as well. But, you know, one thing that you can say, maybe one knock on this team, is that sometimes they do start off slow. And, you know, right now you're able to get away with it against a young New York Red Bulls 2 side. But come playoff time, Peter, if this team starts slow, you're going to be in a world of trouble, you know, facing Miami or Pittsburgh Riverhounds, or certainly in a team like Louisville City if you're lucky enough to advance that far.
Kickoff has taken place. As you see, Nathan Worth is subbed off. He's another 15-year-old who's playing for New York Red Bulls 2, but he is out. And they go with the comparatively veteran 17-year-old Eric Ruiz in his place. I mean, he's an old man for this team, playing as a 17-year-old. There is the 15-year-old keeper, Rakowski, Be very curious to see, based on what we heard from Ben Pierman, what kind of intensity we see from 901 FC. They press. Red Bulls, too, have shown a lot of ability and willingness to push and play and force 901 FC into some uncomfortable situations. Let's see what they can do to respond. A really good test going into the postseason, which is just around the corner. Ball played back by Nosita, and Rakowski blasts that like a foul ball here at AutoZone Park, well into the stands.
One thing Ben Pierman mentioned, Peter, kind of what I said earlier, sometimes, just get the ball off the field. Don't be too proud sometimes to send the long ball and put some pressure on the back line of New York Red Bulls too, and put some pressure on Alan Rakowski, make him come off his line, put him in an uncomfortable situation. We saw the one time 901 FC did do that. He gave a penalty kick.
Throw in 2 Red Bulls, 2 just underway. Peter Edmiston, J.J. Greer with you. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon, wherever you happen to be watching us. We really appreciate you doing so. It's a good one. It's been a very interesting matchup so far. Chris Allen able to maintain control. Middle of the pitch, chips one over the top, and a clever little back flick from Philip Goodrum, but unfortunately he did it when he was out of play, which, to my understanding, you cannot do. You cannot play the ball when it is out of play. Throw incoming. Red Bulls 2. Nice crowd here on hand at AutoZone Park as they're doing a pink out for the final game. You saw the pink smoke coming in on the goal from Aaron Malloy in honor of those who are fighting breast cancer awareness. And October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we certainly welcome that and wish folks all the best in all of those struggles. It's a wonderful thing to do to honor them who are going through such difficult times. Ball played long and headed out of play there, and kind of a nasty little collision there. Dodson going back. He had a bit of a tussle there.
Yeah, really awkward collision there.
It looks like Ofori is the one who came out on the worst end of it. So Dodson, that's what you got. There's nothing wrong with that. That's good physical play.
Yeah, looked. I don't know what Ibrahim Sakaya, he's screaming about something, yeah, but it looked like Dodson got there first.
No, he got to the ball first.
If anything, the foul could have been on Ofori.
Yeah, that's the way you're supposed to play. That's the kind of thing Ben Pierman, I'm sure, will want to see from his entire team, is that sort of commitment to the cause. Ofori, thankfully, looks like he's going to be just fine. He'll be welcomed onto the pitch in due time by the officials. Ball played long and kicked out of play. Working quickly. Goodrum throwing it in. Ball played side to side. Got to move it quicker side to side in my estimation, JJ.
Yeah, 901 FC, they're really probing. They're trying to, sometimes try and find that perfect pass, or sometimes, as you said, Peter, just keep the ball moving, make this New York Red Bulls 2 team really shift, make them move around before you start looking for that killer pass.
Well, we saw some of the most effective plays have come from, that long laser ball that came in from Jeremy Kelly from one side to the other. It really was effective in opening up opportunities, and there's a totally unnecessary giveaway from Dodson, who has to go out and do the work to get that ball back, and he does draw the foul, which he needed to kind of put his team in danger. You got to go and save the day. That's the rule.
Yeah, and to your point, and to Coach Pierman's point, to Ben's point, as he was saying at halftime, sometimes you don't have to try to find the perfect pass and move the ball around so much in the midfield. Sometimes just send the ball long. Get those center backs, especially the big center back in Nosita, get him turning and running towards his own goal, put him in a bad spot.
And there's a quick transition ball, but well dealt with, at least temporarily. Now 3-on-3 opportunity. A nice ball played from Goodrum, who's making that run. He wants that goal number 20, and it was well defended out for a Celtic crossing corner. Goodrum, and you could tell he and Borchek had that thing on lock. As soon as he played that ball out there, he was steaming toward the middle of the goal. He wanted that cut back.
Yeah, he wanted that ball back. You saw him kind of making that run towards the near post. He wanted it right in front of goal, in between Rakowski in the 6-yard box. You saw, and I think Goodrum might have mentioned it to Borchek after that play there.
Ball played in Malloy on the Celtic crossing corner. takes a couple of deflections out of play. It'll be a throw to 901 FC. 5 minutes into half number 2. 901 FC still looking for that second goal. Red Bulls 2 scoring first. 901 FC with the equalizer 10 minutes later from the penalty spot. And that's where we stand right now. That ball, ooh, a nasty one there. Nosita Goodrum, and Nosita's going to pick up a yellow card. That was what they call colloquially, JJ, though, they call that a hospital pass. And that's why, because it draws, it's a little underplayed and it draws contact. And
yep, absolutely. And Nosita certainly took the bait there and got all of Goodrum. You see him with a smile on his face there, and him and Goodrum had a little coming together there as that big long leg of Nosita. Ooh, I think his knee bent a certain awkward way there.
That could have been real ugly right there. And you see that ball just kind of played not quite hard enough, and that put Goodrum in a position. Now, you know Goodrum's very feisty. He's not going to shy away from any contact, even if it is somebody the size of Nosita. So he does earn the free kick, and Malloy, you know how dangerous he can be in this position. Will it be a near post run to avoid Nosita, or will they do the traditional far post? You put it right in between, playing kind of a high line, so they're inviting that ball to be put in right at the penalty spot.
Yeah, I would expect to see, Peter, maybe Graham Smith at the back post, maybe set a screen for Nosita, get him out of the play.
That's exactly what's happened. Ball goes just a little too far, too much curl on it. That was the plan. Well spotted by J.J. Gruden. Segrist with the throw. And immediately taken away. Now Red Bulls 2 quickly in transition, play that ball in front. Trey Muse, good job being alert, getting out there and clearing it away. Red Bulls 2 had a numbers advantage if they could have found that pass on that far side. See, with the throw in, it's going to be Avante Mullings. Happy birthday to him. It's his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Mr.
Avante Mullings. In the squad, he's probably 12. Ball is blocked at the D, and then a foul and a little bitty challenge there. That one.
Yeah, hefty challenge there.
Seen some chippy little challenges in this matchup. This is not one that you would expect a team like New York Red Bulls 2 to come in with that kind of attitude.
Yeah, and a lot of talking there from Steven Plaza after Trey Muse was right on top of it. Aaron Malloy is certainly going to remember that.
Been a lot of talking in general. Again, in this you wouldn't have expected, given these two teams' positions and what New York Red Bulls 2 is playing for, which is not much. But man, they've been feisty and scrappy and, like, you know, getting in the tackles, and they're making it very hard for 901 FC to find a rhythm in this match.
They've been really feisty, really pesky, as I said earlier at halftime, Peter. Just a team that they have no idea what their record is. It looks like, you know, they're just out here playing, you know, fighting hard and really playing for pride as well. And they've done a great job of that so far.
Ball played over the top and a nice ball in, but it is dealt with from the birthday boy. Mullings kicks it away. Throw in deep in Red Bulls 2 territory in the final third to 901 FC. Segrist will take it. Gotta take advantage of this. Kisiedu to Segrist. Segrist cross is deflected out of play for another Celtic crossing corner for 901 FC. That is, by my count, corner number 5. Haven't had a lot of success from the set pieces. A lot of that is just the size and physicality of Red Bulls 2.
Yeah, really a lot of height on this Red Bulls 2 side.
Malloy puts it in, and that ball's punched away from Murkowski, but only as far as Christopher Allen, who, well, that's not where you want your shot to end up. that's not good.
Look, if you're going to shank a ball that bad, you know, the fact that it went out of bounds for a throw-in, you know, deep in the New York Red Bulls 2 territory, really not a bad position for 901 FC to be in, all things considering.
Yeah, the embarrassment.
That's when you just say, you know, you shank a shot like that, you just say, lock him in, keep him in there.
That's right. Let's go. Kisiedu swinging it out wide. Kelly cutting it back. Nice little release for Kisiedu. Kisiedu, perfect feet. Good opportunity, chips it up, and that's going to be off of Mullings. Wanted a handball. Mullings sliding in. Have to take a look at the replay on that one. The referee says nothing doing right now.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of contact with the hand. What a gorgeous move that was. Great combination play between Jeremy Kelly and Laurent Kisiedu. But you saw here, look at this right here. Chips it up. Maybe shoulder there.
Yeah, the shoulder. I don't think there's much you can do about that. Corner taken short and quick, and too short and too quick, as it has to be played all the way back to Trey Muse. That is not the corner routine I would imagine that Ben Pierman and the coaching staff worked on.
Great ball from Trey Muse.
It was very well clipped, and now an opportunity into some space. Ball played over, looking for Borchek, who is offside. Couldn't hold his run quite long enough. No reason to be offside there, JJ.
Yeah, he's got to look down that line and know where he is on the pitch. Jeremy Kelly, of course, had a lot of options there. Sometimes as a player, when you get too many options, too many runners, it can almost be like a sensory overload type of situation. And you see Ben Pierman kind of wondering, talking to his bench there, what were we doing on that play? But I think you're right, Peter. Borchek certainly got to look down the line and hold up his run just a little bit longer.
Well, you saw more or less every single player out there getting warm, so Ben Pierman keeping his opportunities open. Looks like Lucas Turchi is going to be the first substitute, though, and by the way, before we even get that, we've got a head injury to one of the New York Red Bulls 2 players as the training staff being waived on, but Turchi is going to be the first substitute of the game. And he's going to come in for Christopher Allen. Seems like you're dealing with a little more physicality from Turchi to match what's happening inside, and Allen has he's played his role, but it's probably not been his most effective game. So I think you can understand, and that gives you a little more forward thrust too, because Turchi can play as a little more of an effective attacker.
Yeah, a little bit more power, if you will, as you were saying, Peter. Power, strength, maybe a little bit more going forward. Chris Allen, the great player that he is, maybe not his best match, maybe not a good fit for him this particular match. I think, Lucas Turchi, him coming in off the bench, providing that spark, providing that energy off the bench, and maybe a little bit more offensive firepower as well.
Well, he's about 5 inches taller, too, which certainly in this match, because you're seeing a lot of size from New York Red Bulls, too. Turchi's 6'4", 205, 210.
A lot of conversation as well, Peter, amongst the players. I wonder if there might be a bit of a formation change as well with Turchi coming on the field.
Well, if you want to play it long and almost play through Turchi as kind of a forward, a forward up top who can then get that long ball and kind of play it off, that may not be the worst idea for a team that's determined to turn your midfield into kind of a scrappy place where you can't really establish your control.
It's been really junky in the midfield in this particular match. Not a lot playing through the midfield. I'd love to see Aaron Malloy maybe get on the ball a little bit more in this game. I think, as he goes, the team goes. That is 901 FC, and I think if he can just get on the ball a little bit more, maybe have Lucas Turchi sit in a little deeper, have Turchi do the dirty work, and allow Aaron Malloy to get higher up the pitch to be able to create and show his magic. I think that would do really well for 901 FC in the last half hour of this match.
Still dealing with the New York Red Bulls 2 player who is down and remains down on the pitch in some discomfort, as they I think are stabilizing the head and neck situation there. It's certainly been it's been a difficult.
I think that's Avante Mullings that's down, Peter, and he took quite a shot off the side of the face there. So certainly dealing with a head issue, which you never want to play around with.
Well, then they're bringing out the backboard to take him off the pitch without, we want to stabilize the neck. Very important to do that, and so we are going to see him stretchered off the field, which is always a scary sight. It is the birthday boy, Avante Mullings. That's not the way you want to spend your birthday, that's for sure.
Certainly not.
Tough situation as the EMS technicians are out onto the pitch just to make sure that everything's okay. He is sitting up now, which is certainly good to see. Really scary situation.
Yeah, certainly looks like he, at the very least, got his bell rung. As you saw in the replay here, that was Jeremy Kelly looking down the field and just rocking that ball off the side of the face, and you see him kind of take a couple steps and then just go down pretty heavily, but looks like he's up, eyes are open, and he looks fairly alert there, Peter.
I hope so, and then hopefully they won't need the stretcher. He's up. That one is. You talked about it in the first half when we saw Graham Smith, take that header and take that big shot off the head, but he made that header himself. He went for it himself. This one was nothing Avante Mullings could do about it. He didn't see it coming.
He was not trying to get in the way of that one.
And the difference is you can tell how much harder Mullings is taking it than Graham Smith. When you control the header, it still hurts, it's still tough, but it's a lot better than when you get smacked and you have absolutely no idea what's going on.
And it looked like it hit him. You can see him grabbing the side of his face there, off the side of the face, as opposed to your forehead.
It bent the neck. You can see the neck kind of snap a little bit, which also there's a strain.
The neck and the temple area as well, which kind of the sweet spot, the soft spot of your head and your face, if you will. So, gotta hope that he's okay. I highly doubt that he's coming back on to this match, and we'll see who comes onto the pitch for New York Red Bulls too.
I did see him give a little thumbs up as he was going off, so I think hopefully he's okay. It certainly looked real bad when you saw him out there not moving and stabilizing his head, and with the EMS crew coming on there. So the fact that he could walk off is a great sign.
You never want to see somebody get carted off on the stretcher, whether whatever situation it is. So really good to at least see him walk off on his own power.
And Red Bulls, too, are going to make that substitution. John Murphy coming into play for Avante Mullings. Keep an eye on, hopefully get an update on Mullings as things go on. 901 FC back at it. Long crossfield ball. Good ball taken well off the chest from Dodson, who tries a quick snapshot. That was a very low chance.
Ambitious opportunity
very
there.
Ambitious, to say the least. You would have had to have a world-class goal to get it in that little corner. Dodson took that shot. So he did a really nice job of taking it off his chest. You see right there. Kind of pinged it off. It felt well for him, but yeah, that is an extremely difficult attempt right there. Probably better to cut that one back and then wait for some help into the box. Cross. Ball headed on. Just cleared out of play.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see, Peter, how these two teams respond after that, fairly lengthy pause and play there. And certainly, I think we'll get a decent amount of stoppage time. But all the players and coaching staff, coming onto the field, and a big posse, another big tackle there.
Ooh, and again, Salinas, he's already been yellow carded.
Big challenge there from Salinas. Once again, Philip Goodrum.
Did he not have a yellow card?
No, it looks like he didn't. That might have been Nocita, certainly is already on a yellow card. But you saw Salinas there pointing at the ball. Looked like he might have gotten a little bit of the ball, but he got a lot of Philip Goodrum's leg first. Kind of a dangerous tackle there as well when you kind of nip at a player's plant foot. So Philip Goodrum.
Yeah, it was a nasty one for sure.
Yeah, Philip Goodrum, no stranger to contact, but Philip Goodrum probably pretty fortunate not to have a more serious injury there.
As we said, this game has been a really strangely chippy one. This is the kind of thing you might expect to see with like a rivalry, Memphis-Birmingham or something like that. These kinds of challenges that we've seen, but this is only New York's second trip to Memphis. They haven't been to Memphis since 2019, so not a lot of time for a rivalry to really emerge. But they're making up for lost time here. If Goodrum again upset with Nocita. Thought he was fouled, nothing given.
Certainly a lot of contact there between he and Nocita. Philip Goodrum's fired up, and I expect him to keep that same energy and same passion when he's in on goal.
Just have not seen too much of a clear-cut opportunity for 901 FC in this half. Really haven't seen a whole lot, as it's been more or less like it has been in half half number one. It's been just a real stop-start.
Yeah.
It's the way New York Red Bulls, too, would want to play.
Oh, they would absolutely prefer that. Just a real lack of flow in this match, which certainly is to the advantage of Red Bulls, too. You know, a lot of this time will be tacked on into at the end of the game. You know, for stoppage time, there's probably going to be a good 8 or 9 minutes of stoppage time. So, you know, as we have another New York Red Bulls 2 player down. So once again, more stop and start. Lack of a flow in this match. At some point, 901 FC will need to put the ball down on the ground and get this ball moving around the pitch.
Birmingham, by the way, is up in their match early in about 25 minutes gone. In that one, they're up 1-0. Pittsburgh and Sacramento are scoreless. Birmingham playing San Antonio. As we said, those don't really impact 901 FC so much, but it does impact who they could potentially play for their first match, their home match in round 1 of the playoffs, coming up in a couple of weeks. The USL Championship playoffs presented by Hisense. Rakowski, kind of an aimless long ball, and gets his team into a little bit of trouble. Final week of the regular season kicks off with 2 teams vying for playoff positioning. The Tampa Bay Rowdies welcome El Paso Locomotive with playoff implications on the line for both sides and for 901 FC. It's the Rowdies and Locomotive Wednesday, October 12th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern at 6:30 Central on ESPN Deportes. Ball out of play. A couple more substitutions happening for New York Red Bulls too. Some academy player, Arian Recinos, 17-year-old, checking into the game. Also academy product, and another 15-year-old, Davi Alexandre, coming in for big Matthew Nocita. So now there are 3 15-year-olds out there and a couple 17-year-olds out there for New York Red Bulls too.
What a time to come into the match. You know, you talk about experience and crucial situations. Well, Ibrahim Sakai is certainly putting his players in that position.
Well, you know, it's a great chance, and you know, we've seen 901 FC with some academy products from time to time out there. It does happen, and you get a good chance in the USL Championship to occasionally do that. But you know, this is a big opportunity for them to play, you know, 25 minutes or more in a regular season match. That's huge experience for them at that level. JJ, you're talking about, you know, a lot of high school teams out there have very similar ages of guys, 17, 15, 15,
Freshmen.
17. Right? Yeah. Sophomores.
Not even upperclassmen in high school.
No, and so, you know, I think Ben Pierman will be thinking, you know, we really need to take advantage of playing against players of that age group.
He certainly will, but Ben Pierman, he's given a lot of respect to this side, as he should, because these aren't, you know, just your average run-of-the-mill 15-year-olds.
No,
Let's be honest here. You know, these are some really, really talented players, some of the best 15-year-olds in the country, you know, playing for an esteemed academy.
No question.
And well, not just academy, right? USL Championship squad at that. You know, these are the best of the best 15-year-olds in the country. So, you know, really talented players, and they've been playing all season long. So, you know, by now it's the end of the season. They're almost getting used to positions like this, and you know, they're carefree. They don't have a care in the world. They're just going to go out and play and see what happens.
Really have not seen any kind of rhythm develop in half number 2, and that continues. Malloy taking a free kick after he was fouled. Malloy pings it all the way across, cleared out well. Good work on that far side. Segrist digging that ball out now to Goodrum. Goodrum plays it out wide. Dotson back in, one touch, and there's a foul, and that should be a real good opportunity. This one, Goodrum takes another shot. Hopefully he's okay. This is Malloy's territory all the way, and this one I think, JJ, is perfect for that up and down. It's about 2 yards further back. We talked about it. I'm going out of my. I'm predicting a goal.
I mean, look, he's once again right in the middle of the goal, almost about, you know, 23, 24 yards outside of goal. couple yards outside of the 18-yard box. He can really go either side, Peter, whether he wants to go over the wall or whip this one into the back post. You know, Peter, I think, you know, calling a goal, it's not far off.
It's not the, if it were on the other side of the D, it'd be the absolute perfect position for a right footer. So it's not quite, but it's almost the perfect position for a right footer. It's certainly perfect position for him. And Turchi, now, is Turchi going to fool us all and try this? I don't think so. I think
this is Aaron Malloy's territory.
I'm telling you, I'm calling a goal right here. I'm going to go ahead and call it before it even happens.
I think he's going to go keeper side as well.
Yeah, he's giving him a lot of space on the keeper side. Ball is up. Save made. That was heading into the back of the net. And Rakowski, looking a lot older than 15.
What a tremendous save that was.
Big time save.
He picked that one out of the top corner, Pete.
Look at this. Absolutely perfect from Aaron Malloy. You see this one is headed right into the upper
wow, what a save that was.
Left-hand corner. Celtic crossing corner cleared away. But the danger still on Malloy. First time into the box. And another punch from Rakowski, who goes flying in there. This kid is showing something here.
He really is. You're really seeing the athleticism as well from the young 15-year-old goalkeeper, something that we haven't been able to see quite yet in this match. He's done a great job of just managing the game. So we have a substitution here.
Memphis 901 FC substitution. Dylan Borchak out for his first start of the season and replaced by Luis Fernando. And Fernando, you know how dangerous he can be. Imagine you'll see him, basically a like-for-like substitution, sliding out on the right side of that attack and trying to just up the quality just a little bit. Long throw into the box. Goodrum flicks on the header, and it's always going a bit wide. You know Goodrum has got to be a little bit frustrated. Look at Rakowski coming out here, and boom.
Really fantastic concentration.
That's a big-time punch.
Yeah, fantastic concentration, big punch, got a full fist on that ball, great timing. Took some contact as well, which we saw. It looked like he might have been feeling it a little bit afterwards, but it was his own player who got in the way, but a really nice sequence there from Rakowski.
Luis Fernando's first touch, not necessarily his best one, but Dotson keeps the ball in play, cycles it back to Smith, who goes back to Trey Muse. Muse flips it up, and Muse had some nice distribution today. That was a good long ball to Fernando, who couldn't get it under control, and now Red Bulls 2 trying to counter. And again, there's that press that's forcing bad decisions from 901 FC. That press is taking them out of their game a little bit, JJ. They've not been able to be calm and composed from the back.
New York Red Bulls 2 just continuing to put a lot of pressure on the back line of 901 FC. Even here in the 74th minute, Red Bulls 2 really just continue to get after it. Just a very fit team, and of course it's not as hot out here anymore in October in Memphis, Tennessee. I think 901 FC really took advantage of that in the heat of summer, right? Just really wearing teams out and making them feel the weather, right?
Yeah.
Now that it's cooled off, you're certainly going to see teams being able to last longer in terms of being able to run, and 901 FC will certainly be able to won't really have that advantage anymore heading to the playoffs as well.
High ball played, a couple of runners trying to get onto it. Well handled from Segrist, who's able to slot it away while falling down. Decent 1-2 stuff from Red Bulls 2, ends up out of play. Segrist with the throw. Gonna need a little more tempo from 901 FC, JJ. They're gonna have to up the tempo a little bit. They're playing a bit slower. Got to get forward quicker. Now Fernando, he can certainly do that. Not a good ball played out. Going to be a throw, though, for 901 FC. Just 15 minutes remain of regular time, although we will have a bunch of Miller Lite stoppage time with multiple lengthy injuries that we've had to deal with. So I would suspect 8 to 9 minutes or more.
And possibly even 10 minutes of stoppage.
Segrist gets to Muse. Muse with another really good ball. Deterci playing a target role and now getting it out. Kelly, ball is intercepted looking for Kisidu, but a little miscommunication, and Kelly maintains control to Malloy. Malloy, nice ball to Fernando with the opportunity, and it is deflected out for another Celtic crossing corner. Good deflection from Omar Valencia, but a sneaky little pass from Malloy, kind of a disguised ball inside, gave Fernando a good chance on his right foot.
I think that's what 901 FC was missing a little bit earlier on in this match, the ability of Fernando to find those nice tight spaces.
Celtic crossing corner, and it is headed off the crossbar. The crossbar rattled by Graham Smith, but the ball did not cross the line. Another Celtic crossing corner as you see the tempo starting to increase from 901 FC. Let's take a quick look at this one again. Smith, perfect position. No, it was Kisidu, I think. Who was that was on the header? Was that, it's hard to tell, Dotson maybe, but in any event, it did not cross the line, rattled the crossbar. Ball played all the way over from Kelly, and Turchi just whiffed on it. Still in control, though. Back to Kelly. Kelly playing it all the way back. Buckmaster has to go back to Muse as things reset just a little bit. What an opportunity that was. Was that Dotson, JJ? Could you tell?
That was really tough to tell. That might have been Dotson with a thunderous header.
I mean, it was a
header.
Phenomenal. It was Dotson, yeah, phenomenal header. Had every right to be a goal, but
Peter, I think you can see 901 FC picking up the pace. See on the replay
yeah,
here,
there it is.
Definitely Dotson who rose
wham! I mean,
fantastically.
Right off the crossbar.
He thought that was in. He was running towards the corner flag.
What a try. When you make contact like that, you expect it to be a goal.
Oh, absolutely.
And that time, Rakowski had no chance whatsoever. Great ball. There's a nice long ball played into the path of Luis Fernando. Fernando getting around two Red Bulls defenders. Malloy back to Fernando. Fernando looking with that left foot. Wins a throw. 78th minute. Still tied at 1. But 901 FC noticeably better. Knocking on the door here. Good ball. Fernando looking for Goodrum. Goodrum tries to find some space into the side netting.
Goodrum's doing a great job of being able to hold up the ball. He's held up the ball nicely all matches, drawing all kinds of fouls, but New York Red Bulls too have done a great job of bending but not completely breaking in their back line and their formation.
And now you see Goodrum trying to up the pace, keep the time wasting to a minimum. Very intriguing last period of play. It's hard to predict what's going to happen in this match. It's been a very, very odd one, JJ.
Well, 901 FC have certainly picked up the pace. They've picked up their level quite a bit. They've really been dominant in the last 10 minutes of this match or so, but we've seen it time and time again from New York Red Bulls too, the ability to just make something out of nothing. They've got really talented players, and Steven Plaza up top and Jordan Adebayo Smith, these guys can really do something out of nothing in a hurry.
Ball played too far looking for Fernando. They have definitely used Fernando as an outlet on those long balls. It's been very effective. In the last 10 minutes of the match, you have seen almost 80% possession for 901 FC, and the ball has basically stayed in their half of the field, but can they make it count? It's one thing to do it, but can you make it count? Can you get it? And can you put it in the back of the net? That remains to be seen. Another surprisingly nasty little tackle. Overall, 65% possession for the match for 901 FC.
901 FC have certainly been dominant in possession. It's just, as you said, Peter, just being able to make that possession go north and south instead of just constantly passing the ball east and west sideways. Another really dangerous position for 901 FC. And Aaron Malloy, remember, Matthew Nacita is no longer in this match, so we'll see if Graham Smith or Lucas Turchi, one of the big boys for 901 FC, will be able to get on the end of this set piece.
Yeah, you'd think Turchi would be the guy that would be a very possible target for this. Fernando holding his run. Good ball headed for the. And it just this annoys me when that happens. There's a foul before that. There's so many things that can happen in that little scrum there.
Really anticlimactic. Really such a buzzkill when that happens.
Is it even a foul? I mean, that's the other thing. Henry Wise checking out of the game. Daniel De Leon.
Really good performance from Henry Wise in the midfield, the diminutive midfielder for New York Red Bulls too. But was really impressed with him in this match. His ability to just pass the ball, short passes or long passes, tight spaces in the midfield or spraying the ball 60 yards. He was able to really do it all in this match and put in a really good performance.
9-0 FC with 9 shots inside the box in this match, but again, only 1 goal, that coming from the penalty spot. 5 shots on target. Kowski's made a number of pretty good saves. Crossbar's also made a save or 2. And by hook or by crook, Red Bulls 2 remain in this match. 1-1. 901 FC with it all to do right now to try to hang on to that second spot in the playoffs. A draw here would not be particularly helpful. At that point, it would make it a little more difficult for you, because that would take it out of your hands. At that point, if Tampa wins out, then they would pass 901 FC at that point. So you really need to go ahead and get that win if you can. Here's the chance for Fernando. Plays a good long ball. Ball is left. Opportunity, save made. Philip Goodrum so close to number 20, but a kick save from Rakowski. Guess you do. Now that ball bounces around, but it goes back to Fernando. Fernando back to Kisiedu. Plays it in. Fernando got their wires crossed with Dodson, and it ends up Red Bulls 2 free kick.
Really decent sequence there from 901 FC. You see Fernando just playing that ball ever so slowly across the 6-yard box. And
it was a great dummy from Dodson.
Great dummy.
He left it for Goodrum, and Goodrum was almost a little slow to realize that's what was happening, and he got to it a bit late.
Got the ball on target. Really hard strike, but another really, really good save from Rakowski. Kick save.
Save number 5 for Rakowski. Goodrum now with the ball. It's been all 901 FC over the last 15 minutes or so, but all the possession and dominance has not led to a goal. Did strike the crossbar with ferocity and had another point-blank shot saved. Now here's a chance, and Trey Muse has to get out there, make that clearance, because that was a half chance for Red Bulls 2.
Really well done from Trey Muse, playing that sweeper keeper role. We've seen him do that quite a few times this season. He's gotten it right every single time. He's got to be alert. 901 FC playing a really high line, trying to keep the pressure strong and the pressure high as they're going for that go-ahead goal. But Trey Muse certainly had to be alert and had to get that one right, and he did.
Valencia with the throw, and you'll see Graham Smith let that go. JJ, you can speak to this as a player. How tough is it to score when you know you are against a team that you probably, just be honest, you're better than this team, but the pressure to actually get that goal, does it get bigger and bigger as you get towards the end of the match?
Oh, it certainly does, and it's kind of an interesting tactic, kind of a weird way to go about it, but you got to be patient as well. You can't just, every time you go down the field, you're not going to have a chance on goal or going to be able to score. So, really in this match, yes, 90 minutes, only about 6 minutes away, 5.5 minutes away, but you're probably going to have a good 10 minutes of stoppage time. So, if you're able to possess the ball, make this Red Bulls 2-side move side to side, you're going to have a couple of chances in this match.
Great little ball from Fernando there. Chipped in Buckmaster getting forward from that center back position. All hands on deck now to Malloy. Malloy's going to take a strike from here. Sizzles it wide. You could see as soon as he got that first touch, he wanted to have a go, and can't blame him for that. But that ended up being well wide.
No, Aaron Malloy certainly wanted that one. He couldn't quite settle the ball the way he wanted to. You saw us bouncing and always kind of running away from him, and just kind of pulled that shot, which we don't see too often from Aaron Malloy. Typically, he strikes the ball so cleanly, but not a bad effort from Mary Malloy at 901 FC.
Bento Estrella coming on for Steven Plaza. Estrella is 16 years old. So.
Fresh legs, young legs.
Extremely young legs. Pretty effective game up top for Plaza, including the only goal of the match for Red Bulls, too.
Really calm finish from Steven Plaza. 901 FC did well not to really give him any more chances after that, but one shot, one finish for Steven Plaza. Really efficient performance from him.
That ball headed on, and it will be a throw in taken quickly for Red Bulls, too. First time cross. Header pinged in the wrong direction. And out of play again. Red Bulls 2 maintaining a little bit of control here. Valencia will take the throw. A little more than 3 minutes left in regular time. There's the turn and goal kick. 901 FC will have this remaining time plus significant stoppage time in order to get the winning goal, but they got to do it. It's been close, but Red Bulls 2 very stubborn defensively, very stubborn in the way they've played, making it hard to accomplish what they need to. Look at the fancy footwork from Kelly, and a tap in from Philip Goodrum. He's onside. Goal number 20, goal number 2 for 901 FC. They take the lead late in the match.
And that was all Jeremy Kelly on that play. That's what he can provide to you. As you see, Philip Goodrum gets his 20th goal of the season, another 20-goal scorer for 901 FC, but you see him point to that man over there across the field. Jeremy Kelly just went by about 4 or 5 players, Peter, on the way to the assist to Philip Goodrum. You saw in the replay here, a fortunate bounce there, but once he gets the ball, make no mistake, cruises by 3 or 4 New York Red Bulls 2 players. Lovely pass across the 6-yard box. Easy tap in for Philip Goodrum for his 20th of the season.
Kelly ghosting past 3 or 4 Red Bulls 2 defenders, played it across the face of goal, and Goodrum with the easiest of the 20 goals that he's had this year, just a tap in. But that one is a historic one, another 20-goal score. Look at him just tap it in from 2 yards away. Even I could have maybe tapped that one, maybe. Goodrum,
would you have been in the position, Peter?
I would have never been in that position. That's where Philip Goodrum gets you. Terrific job, and it has been coming. It has not been easy for 901 FC this afternoon, but it has been coming, and they finally got it. That second goal, all-important second goal that puts them on pace for win number 20 of the year. Goal number 20 for Philip Goodrum. What a terrific job from Jeremy Kelly. Absolutely amazing the way he was able to just drift past so many defenders in the box and then put a terrific cross right on the feet of Philip Goodrum. That was something special.
And we've seen him do that. He's a special player. We've seen him do that so many times this season. He's just got that unbelievable special ability to just be able to glide past players with ease. He might not be the fastest or the quickest player in the world, but he's fast and he's quick and he's sharp mentally, and his technique is, you know, some of the best in the league in the USL Championship. What an opportunity, what a goal and what an assist that was from Jeremy Kelly.
Valencia chipping it in. Malloy heads it away. Yeah. Kisiedu wisely cuts it back. And now a sizzled long ball right into the path of Jeremy Kelly. And Goodrum looking for 21! Over the top. Great opportunity there to double his tally in a short period of time. And I don't know if it took a weird hop or if he just wasn't quite balanced enough, but no.
It would have been a great finish. Definitely a half chance there.
He was in a good position.
In a great position, made about probably a 60-yard run sprint to be able to get into that position. What an incredible ball that was as well from Jeremy Kelly once again.
And what a ball to set up Jeremy Kelly. About a 70-yard pass that just completely took the entire team out of it. Another long ball. And now you can see 901 FC starting to feel it a little bit. Kelly playing it over and unable to keep it in play. Segrist. 8 minutes of Miller Lite stoppage time. And we'll see a sub here. Zach Carroll coming in. Zach Carroll replacing Jeremy Kelly. And Niall Logue as well coming in for Casillo. As you can see, 2 defenders coming on for 2 attacking players. Ben Pierman wants to make sure to hang on to these 3 points.
Yeah, there's been some a bit of funny business, Ben Pierman would say, in the final minutes of, especially the final minutes of the last match against Rio Grande. Of course, 901 FC gave up a 2-0 lead. Ben Pierman certainly does not want that to happen this afternoon at AutoZone Park against a young Red Bulls 2 side, putting in the likes of Zach Carroll and Niall Logue, 2 staunch defenders, center backs for 901 FC. We'll see how 901 FC can close out this match.
And you see Jeremy Kelly, you saw him moments ago, and right now he's walking slowly in front of Bluff City Mafia, drinking in the adulation as he should. What a terrific game he had, and a fabulous assist for what is, at this point, the winning goal. We shall see if that remains the case over the next 6 minutes or so. While that was going on, a foul committed from Red Bulls 2, leading to a free kick. Philip Goodrum looks like he's okay. As we mentioned, he's the most foul player on the team, so that's not an unfamiliar position for him.
He's always putting his body on the line, always giving it his all for this club and in this city. Philip Goodrum is, whether that's, you know, offensively making a 60-yard sprint towards the goal, or even running back towards his own goal, making a 60-yard sprint to tackle somebody. Philip Goodrum has just been a revelation for 901 FC this season, and just been so exciting to see his progression this season. Started off a little slow, you know, throughout the first 4 or 5 games, but really the rest of the season has been on a tear.
Good free kick headed up, and Rakowski has to punch it over. Has to be sure.
Good decision there from the young 15-year-old goalkeeper, Rudkowski. Really awkward bounce, and the ball had awkward spin on it as well. He really had to tap that ball over the crossbar. It might have ended up in the goal if he didn't.
In the 3rd minute of stoppage time, 8 minutes of Miller Lite stoppage time on the horizon. Now all of a sudden the tempo has fallen a bit now that 901 FC has the 1-goal advantage. That does tend to happen. Aaron Malloy, who's been excellent throughout this game, will take another Celtic crossing corner. Ball goes in and is headed away. Dotson again. That time it was not on target. Now Goodrum onside, plays it across, out for another Celtic crossing corner. Goodrum looking lively.
Very lively, looking fit as a fiddle here in the 94th minute of the match. So it would certainly be huge if 901 FC could get another goal here and really close this game out. It would take a lot of pressure off of Ben Pierman and that 901 FC defense.
It just goes to show, you know, it's another 20-goal scorer for 901 FC, like Kyle Murphy last year. And the fact that they can continue to create those players just speaks so highly of the coaching staff and those players, and the ability to recruit the right type of player to come to Memphis. Very impressive showing to get that. It's not easy to score 20 goals at this level.
No, it's rare, really, as a matter of fact, and 20 goals with no penalties as well. Philip Goodrum
20 open play goals, which is the leader in the league. So that's incredibly impressive to say the least. So you have to just tip your cap to the job that's been done by him and by this staff, and now the time wasting continues. Take it to the corner. As you mentioned, I think a lot of this is predicated on what happened on Wednesday. Goodrum trying to draw a foul in that scrum, unable to do so. It'll be a goal kick. Now all of a sudden, the tables are turned, and it's 901 FC that's trying to slow things down, and Red Bulls 2 trying to up the tempo just a little bit. 3 minutes remain in stoppage time. Red Bulls 2 scrambling for an equalizer. But after about 15 minutes of the second half, the first 15 minutes were fairly even and kind of chippy. From about the 60th minute on, it was all 901 FC, they deserved the goal. Had a number of opportunities to get it. Dotson's header from the corner, smacking the crossbar with great force. A couple of other half chances that didn't quite go. Plenty of opportunities. Now this one angled in from Red Bulls 2. Headed away effectively from Zach Carroll. Ball was offside anyway.
You know, Peter, 901 FC really did a terrific job of being able to create some type of flow in this match. From about the 50th to the 65th minute, there was just no flow in this match. A lot of stop-start, you know, several injuries there. You know, guys standing around, you know, training staff coming onto the field, coaching staff coming onto the field to be able to tend to players. Of course, it was very much needed, but there was not a lot of flow in this match, which was really a benefit and an advantage to New York Red Bulls too. But 901 FC have done a great job being able to settle the game down and be able to move the ball around the field and get the ball into Philip Goodrum and Jeremy Kelly, your guys that are dangerous.
Good header from Goodrum, who's got another opportunity, and it goes into the net, but it's going to be offside. I think. Yeah.
Definitely offside. It might have even been it was either a foul or they might have called an offside.
Yeah,
I think they called a foul there, Peter. It looked like it was shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous call. It was never a foul. I think Goodrum can be rightly upset about missing out on goal number 21.
If I know Philip Goodrum, though, there's a couple more minutes, about a minute left in this match. He's going to be going at it to the very last second trying to get another goal.
Well, this is final minute of stoppage time here and a chance for Red Bulls too. Just going to lump it into the mixer, see what happens. Ball goes in, headed away. Chipped up over the top. And again, well dealt with. That time Malloy with the header out. And a terrific job clearing it away. We had a foul in the build-up anyway. Dotson down right at the edge of the D.
I think at this point, Ben Pierman would be really happy to hear that whistle.
Yeah, I think he'll take the 3 points and get out of here with that one.
I wonder if been a couple of little stoppages in the stoppage time. You wonder if our head official here, Thomas Snyder, will blow it right on the 98th minute, or if we'll play a couple minutes longer.
Yeah, I think it's going to be basically on the dot here. After this free kick, maybe one more possibly chance, but I think it's going to be just about it. That's what we used to do. Good header on. Goodrum playing it into the box. Cleared away. 901 FC can feel it so close. We have played the 8 minutes of allotted stoppage time. Referee has not blown yet. Red Bulls 2 trying to maintain a little bit of an opportunity here. It's so for 901 FC in the bag, but it was not easy. A really, really difficult afternoon for 901 FC that at times J.J. Greer looked like might end in frustration, but instead it ends in elation. 20-goal scorer Philip Goodrum got the winner. Who else? 2-1. Memphis 901 FC knocks off Red Bulls 2. We'll have highlights, final stats, and a look ahead after this.
Only be described as a brutal and disturbing scene.
Do you remember the College Town slayings?
I think everybody in the country remembers the College Town slang.
I was right in the middle of it.
Police are not giving any further information regarding the suspects' names. It seems the killer is still on the loose. Stay safe, everyone.
This is the story of how Dad met Mom and how that put them on a mission to save the world. I need to uncover the truth about my parents.
You're like a dog with a bone.
And coffee?
I made one call to attorney Mike Montesi.
It's easy with Montesi. Call 526-2126.
I
walked into Chick-fil-A completely outnumbered. My husband was away at military leadership training, and the kids were doing this. Miss Carol brought me water, something to eat, and then before I knew it, she was tying Margot's shoes up and carrying her out to the car.
It always makes me feel good if that helps somebody.
I went in the next day because I just wanted to make sure she knew how much of her help.
Happiness level up. 901 FC points total up by 3. 2-1 winners against New York Red Bulls 2. And, of course, the man of the match. There were a few different potential winners, but Philip Goodrum's got to take it home. Not only did he win the penalty that ended up with the first goal, but he put home the second after some great work from Jeremy Kelly. That is his 20th of the year, a goal and an assist. In my book, that'll get you man of the match every time.
Every single time. You see the big celebration there right in front of the Bluff City Mafia from Philip Goodrum. 20 goals on the season. That's just really quite an accomplishment. He'll remember this season for the rest of his life, having a 20-goal season and getting that game-winning goal for 901 FC at home at AutoZone Park. Beautiful day in front of the home fans. What a performance that was from Philip Goodrum at 901 FC.
Taking a look at full-time stats. Possession 2-1 in favor of 901 FC. Look at the shots. 19 shots, 8 on target with a 3.1 XG. That is as big a total as I can remember seeing. And that second half was full of big opportunities. And one of those shots on target doesn't even count the crossbar that was rattled by Derek Dodson's point-blank header. It certainly ended up being a deserved result, but it wasn't easy for 901 FC as they finish the regular season home schedule in style with the 3 points. Now we will see what happens, but they put themselves in a great position to hang on to the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. Either way, the next time they are at home here at AutoZone Park, it will be in the postseason for the first ever postseason home match in 901 FC history. I have no idea who they're going to play. That will remain to be seen for quite some time, but they will be playing someone at home after a historic day. Win number 20. Goal number 20 for Philip Goodrum, and 901 FC getting the job done. It wasn't easy, but in the end, it's a special day in the Bluff City. For JJ Greer and everyone here, I'm Peter Edmiston. Have a great night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.